And hello guys, welcome to my review for this week's edition of SmackDown Live. We're going to take a look at everything that took place on the January 24th, 2017 edition of SmackDown that emanated from Toledo, Ohio. This was, of course, the go-home show heading into the 2017 Royal Rumble. It's hard to believe that the Royal Rumble is only less than 4 days away from the Royal Rumble, and I, of course, am excited. We're heading into the second biggest show of the year. Really, the Royal Rumble this year has really been more unpredictable than in years past, so that is a great thing going forward, too. I will save my thoughts for the Royal Rumble match, in my Royal Rumble preview and predictions video. In that same video, we're going to break down the NXT San Antonio card. So fear not, that video is coming before Saturday. So I'm going to get all that out there in the Royal Rumble predictions preview video. But as of tonight, or should I say last night, catching this, I wasn't able to watch SmackDown live, but I was able to catch it on DVR. Good show, as always. Couple things that I had an issue with, which I will, of course, address later on in the video. But I thought SmackDown was a solid show last night. It continues to show why it is the better show than Raw. They effectively utilize all 2 hours. Like I said, it ain't just because it's 2 hours. It's also because they make you invest in the stars on their roster, the wrestlers, and their issues, and presented in a logical, coherent manner, with matches and stipulations that make sense and have importance. That is why I like tonight's edition of SmackDown. Was it a completely perfect show? No. Was it as good as last week's show? I'd say no. But it was still a good, solid show, which is all I ask for. You don't have to be an A show every week, or even a B show. You could be a C show. But just keep me enjoyed, and I will pay attention and tune into your product. That's all I want. And I wish Raw could do the same thing. I really would like them to. But let's focus on SmackDown here tonight. I like the way things kicked off on this week's show. We had Daniel Bryan and The Miz. Of course, continuing to play up tension and animosity between them. We're not sure where this is going, but this has been playing up ever since The Miz was drafted to SmackDown Live. I don't know if there's going to be a match between them. I mean, Bryan's obviously, not medically cleared. He had to retire. I don't think that's the scenario, but you never know. You do never know with WWE. So, but I like the fact that, this led to the setup for the main event later on in tonight's show between Ambrose and The Miz. Of course, Bryan making the added stipulation that we're not going to do no DQ like The Miz wanted to have happen, because the Maurice will just get involved again. We're going to make it a lumberjack match, and that way it'll even the playing field. Miz likes to run his mouth about how he can pay for all the salaries in the locker room. But when the going gets tough, Miz, what are you going to do when Bryan puts all the people that you're bad-mouthing around that ring? So I like that. It made for a fresh stipulation to keep the feud between Ambrose and Miz going. And I thought it was a good setup for what was to come later on in tonight's show. So let's get right into how the show opened. Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. Obviously, this match being set up, try and clear the air between the Wyatt family members. There's been tension, animosity. I like how they've been hinting at the potential split in the Wyatt family. They've been playing it up well. What is Orton going to do? How does Harper feel about, I like the way they equated it to, he was the first son, and then, Bray Wyatt brought in Randy Orton to the Wyatt family, so naturally that would upset the established order between Harper, Bray, their original connection, and bringing in this outsider, this adopted son of the Wyatt family, which I'll coin Orton that, and can he be trusted? He is the Viper, he is unpredictable. I thought this made for a good, physical, hard-hitting match, whet the appetite. Would like to see these two, potentially maybe have a feud later on down the line. I think it could be really good for Luke Harper, somebody who's never really had a push of his own, but I feel on SmackDown with the brand split, he could definitely be in line for one if they choose to go in that direction. But the thing that I liked about this match was the fact that, Orton was attempting to hit the RKO multiple times in this match, but Harper was able to, evade that. Until, of course, it eventually came down to Harper attempted to go for the discus lariat. Orton countered with the RKO, and he picked up the victory. And the real interesting thing was, after the match, Bray Wyatt dropped Luke Harper with Sister Abigail. It looked like they were going to go for a hug of some kind. So I like how this further creates the seeds, plants the tension of what's going to happen in the Royal Rumble when Harper, Bray Wyatt are in the ring together now, and what is Randy Orton going to do? So that'll be really interesting to watch a subplot, as the Rumble should have multiple subplots, as we go on the road to WrestleMania. I am intrigued and can't wait to see what happens next. Speaking of what happens next, we had Mickie James make her second appearance in her return to WWE on SmackDown Live. It was great seeing Mickie back. I've always been a fan of Mickie James, and I like the fact that she was revealed last week as La Luchador, helping Alexa Bliss retain her SmackDown Women's Championship against Becky Lynch in what I thought was an alright steel cage match. I thought the promo that James cut tonight started off rough, but as she got going, she got more comfortable and relaxed. She kind of talked up the fact, well, she didn't kind of, she did. She said she beat Trish Stratus at WrestleMania 22. She's a 5-time women's champion, and she has one of the most impressive resumes in WWE history as a woman. And she said, she wanted to help Alexa Bliss because Alexa Bliss, she said, stood up for what was right. And she said Alexa has been fighting for day one, and she said she has a lot of respect for Alexa. And if it wasn't for her, she wouldn't be here. And, Mickie says, hell with the revolution. This is the first step of the reinvention of Mickie James. Eventually, Becky comes down. She's had enough. Mickey's like, all right, come on, you want to go? And Becky and Mickie start trading lefts and rights with one another. I thought it was a good, nice back and forth fisticuffs in the ring. Eventually, Bliss connected with the Twisted Bliss and actually back that up here. Bliss rolls, Alexa Bliss comes down, drops Becky with a forearm, and Bliss rolled Becky into the ring. Mickie laid out Becky with the Mick kick, and that's where Bliss connected with Twisted Bliss. So the alliance is strong between Mickie and Alexa. I think this could be a really good, fun alliance. Interested to see. I'm really interested in the SmackDown women's division as a whole. As you'll see later on in the show, I like the multiple subplots. I like that all the women are really getting their own TV time and getting a chance to establish themselves for who they are. I wish Raw would do the exact same thing, but we're going to focus on SmackDown. We're going to be positive in this video. POP, baby. So yeah, I like what this set up, and I'm interested to see where they go with Becky, Mickie, and Alexa down the line. Second match of the evening was a Battle Royale. The participants in this is a 10-man over-the-top Battle Royale, and the winner would get a spot in the Royal Rumble match. It's Fandango versus Heath Slater versus Simon Gotch versus Aiden English versus Kurt Hawkins versus Tyler Breeze versus Victor, Connor, Mojo Rawley, and Rhino. Not really too much to say about this. Probably a low point in this show. I liked seeing Baron Corbin on commentary. I was interested to hear what he had to say. It was Battle Royale. Mojo Rawley won. I was really hoping that Tyler Breeze would win. I really feel that him in that Breeze Dongo tag team is really going nowhere. But they're obviously pushing Mojo Rawley as a result of Zack Ryder getting injured. Not the biggest Mojo Rawley fan. We'll see what we can do. So, yeah. What else? I don't know. The one negative little gripe I have about SmackDown is their tag team division is very weak. I mean, you have Slater and Rhino, but they've really been doing nothing with them since they lost the tag titles. The Wyatt family, they're kind of focused on their own thing. American Alpha, they won the titles, but there's really been nothing going for them, so hopefully they have plans for them. You have the Usos, which I'd like to see Alpha and Usos. There's a feud right there. You keep that going. What I would like to see happen is the Revival. They need to go to SmackDown and inject some life into that tag team division. You also got the Ascension, but they've been jokes since really day one since they've been called up to the main roster. The Vaudevillains could be good. I mean, I like them on NXT, but they've been having a 22-match winless streak going back to June, so they're really going nowhere. So one thing I would like to see on SmackDown fixed is the tag team division. You got Alpha, you got the Usos, the Wyatts for now, but you need the Revival needs to revive the SmackDown Live tag team division, have them and American Alpha feud, rekindle the rivalry from NXT. Guys, let me know down below, what do you think about the Revival coming in, helping out the SmackDown tag team division, because right now I just feel it's on the weak side. But it certainly can be improved and fixed, in my opinion. So that was that with the Battle Royale. After this, we had this AJ Styles John Cena promo. This really got me excited for this Sunday. My second most anticipated match on that card is the face that runs the place versus the 15-time heavyweight champion. Could John Cena become a 16-time champion? We're going to see. And I like the fact that I don't know who's going to walk out with that belt, with the WWE Championship. And this promo, it just felt, like a work shoot. They just let these guys kind of go at their own pace. It wasn't scripted word for word. To me, it came across as real and natural, and we need more of this on the main roster. Less of scripts, more of just going with this. Your heart, your gut. Just speak off the top of your head. And it works and helps you get you excited. I love the fact that they brought up Cena's comments on the Today Show. I don't know if that was, intended or not, but that guy from Atlanta, they didn't mention AJ Styles' name on the Today Show. Obviously, that bothered AJ. He says he's the champ, he runs the camp, and he's the man who's been holding SmackDown down, SmackDown Live down, ever since Cena's been gone. He said, nobody missed you, John, and, he's going to beat you. AJ's going to come out victorious at the Royal Rumble. He says, you always come up with an excuse, and he wasn't ready to come back from his injury, and Styles says that Cena, you are a sorry excuse as a wrestler. Things were getting really heated in this back and forth promo, and that's what I liked about it. We also had Styles saying, that Cena, you're handed everything on a silver platter. And the other thing, I like the fact, people were griping about AJ Styles' placement on the Royal Rumble poster. Me, I didn't see it as too big of a deal. Yeah, he probably should have been more up front and center, but it is the poster. It is what it is. They make these things, marketing reasons, whatever. But the fact that Styles is in a high-profile championship match against John Cena, I think he'll do fine at the Rumble. But I like the fact that AJ brought that up, bringing real-life issues into play here with the poster. And, Cena pretty much says to AJ that, I never wrestled, I didn't have to wrestle on the indie scene. I was built for the WWE, fighting in big-time main event matches. And Cena also says that he gets more done in one day than Styles gets done in an entire career. And Cena says also, you could Photoshop you could Photoshop yourself over Cena in the Royal Rumble poster, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Styles is not a guy from Atlanta. He's just a guy. And Cena, it's getting real personal here. He said he's just a guy who's holding the title because Cena is letting him. Styles is just like everyone else that Cena says who hates him but acts just like him. And he will find out this Sunday that Cena will win his 16th championship. Felt like Cena was kind of healing it up a little bit there. Just saying, you're just a guy. You're not like me. I'm better than you pretty much. And I like this. I really like this face-to-face. I've really enjoyed this feud between Styles and Cena. One of the best feuds going in the company. You're just two of the top elite level performers at their best. And I know on Sunday they could potentially deliver another match of the year. To me, their SummerSlam match was my match of the year. And really made me look forward to what was to come. So this was probably my highlight on this show. Really good stuff. We had a match. It was a short match between Dolph Ziggler and Callisto. Ziggler was able to get the super kick for the very quick victory on Callisto. After the match, it looked like Ziggler was going to go with a steel chair attack on Callisto, but JBL kind of got up in his face, and then eventually Apollo Crews would come down and make the running save, chase Ziggler off after he attempted to hit Ziggler with the steel chair into the, as Ziggler was laid out near the ring post. Ziggler scurries off. Interested to see, I want to see more. I'm obviously down with the Dolph Ziggler heel turn, get more heat on this guy, and it potentially give something for Apollo Crews to do, which he desperately needs, some type of direction, some type of character. He's a good wrestler, but I need more than that to get me to care about you. So hopefully this feud, if they're entering into a feud between Ziggler and Crews, it could benefit both. Crews, give him a direction, and Ziggler help solidify his heel turn. So I'm interested to see where this goes in the weeks to come. We then had what was supposed to be a match between Naomi and Natalya, but of course Natalya couldn't make it to the ring because Nikki Bella was beating the shit out of Natalya backstage. So that left Naomi without an opponent. I like the backstage pull apart that they did between Nikki and Natalya. I hope it leads to a match between Nikki and Natalya. I'd like to see Falls Count Anywhere at Elimination Chamber. And I think that's a match that we definitely could see. But Naomi called out anybody else on the SmackDown Live women's roster. And Alexa Bliss came out. She teased putting the title on the line against Naomi. But she pretty much says, no, it doesn't work that way. I'll fight on my time. I'm the champion. You don't tell me what to do. And I don't care if you people don't like it. I'm leaving. And Bliss pretty much tells Naomi to stay the hell to obscurity. And we could potentially see a championship match between Bliss and Naomi. Fresh challenger, fresh opponent. One scenario that I'm throwing out there for the Elimination Chamber, you got Natalya versus Nikki, potentially in a Falls Count Anywhere match, something I'd like to see. Have these women do a fatal four-way. Bliss versus Mickey versus Becky and Naomi. Keeps all women in the mix, relevant for the championship picture. We'll have to see. But I like the fact that Naomi's back. Good addition to the SmackDown women's division. She's been dealing with some injuries, but hopefully she can get back on track. And like I said, I like the way that SmackDown utilizes all the women on this show and gives them something to do of importance and makes you care about what they are going to do. And it was announced that on the main show at the Royal Rumble, it will be Nikki, Bella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi teaming up to take on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya in a 6-women's tag match. So we have that match added to the Royal Rumble as well. I really enjoyed this Lumberjack match. Dean Ambrose versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Good, solid work back and forth between Ambrose and Miz. Like I said, these two guys know how to go in there, and they just have good chemistry with one another. I thought their match 3 weeks ago was really outstanding. This wasn't quite on that level, but it was, about the Lumberjacks, telling the story of The Miz trying to evade. They beat him up and threw him back in the ring. And, eventually all hell would break loose as all the Lumberjacks would begin to invoke into this really chaotic brawl. And eventually, Baron Corbin would come into the ring. He tried to attack Ambrose. Ambrose threw Corbin out. Miz tried to get a roll-up from behind, trying to get behind Dean Ambrose. And Ambrose was eventually able to successfully defend his championship by retaining it, by hitting Dirty Deeds to pick up the victory. And we celebrate with Ambrose still being your IC champion. So that was this week's edition of SmackDown, guys. I enjoyed it. I thought this was a solid show. And if I had to give a grade for this show, I would go with a B+. Good stuff. Gets me excited as we head towards the Royal Rumble. And the road to WrestleMania 33 will be beginning. It's hard to believe. January's almost over. But guys, I have to say, it's great to be back. Finally over this sickness. Wasn't going to keep me down. So I will keep continuing to deliver the best content that I can to this channel. I once again want to send out a special thank you to Alex, the Lex Man. Thank you once again for joining me for the Guys of Wrestling Report. And to all the new subscribers that came as a result of that, thank you. Welcome to the channel. And I appreciate your love and support. So guys, that is it for my SmackDown Live review. Quick channel update as well. Remember the Rumble. I will be back up tomorrow. I will be uploading a long-awaited day in the life video on the, hard to believe it would have been 3 years ago tomorrow that I attended the 2014 Royal Rumble. So I think it was perfect timing to do that long-awaited video. Got footage that I shot from the Royal Rumble the night that I was there. It was a surreal night, one of the best crowds I've ever been a part of. And I have that special video to give to you guys. So you'll be getting the gift of a day in a life. Then Friday, I'm going to be presenting my Royal Rumble predictions and preview video. And also taking a preview and predictions for NXT San Antonio as well. And then, of course, come back up after NXT San Antonio this Saturday. Me and my good friend Mike, the Club of the Man 1993, will be breaking down and reviewing NXT TakeOver San Antonio live here on YouTube and Google Hangout. Then, of course, Sunday, the Royal Rumble. Cannot wait to break down and review everything that happens after that show because we're going to have a lot to talk about. And I will be having a special guest on, my friend Connor. He's been on here before. We've done a video review, so he will be coming back on all the way from across the pond in England to give his perspective on the Royal Rumble match itself. So that is it, guys, for the SmackDown Live review. A lot of great stuff coming up. We are officially heading on to the road to WrestleMania. Get excited, get ready, get pumped. It's going to be a great week to be a wrestling fan. And I look forward to bringing all that content to you in the best way that I can. So that is it, guys, for this video review. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Till then, guys, take care.